Soon after the Prophet Muhammad's death in 632, Muslim made conquests, and they conquered in a very short span of time a number of major lands: Persia, Iraq, Egypt, Syria, Palestine. Now, the number of hypotheses or theories as to why these conquests take place. One theory would say that Muslims went out of the Arabian Peninsula in search of booty. Another would say that Muslims were fired up with religious zeal and they wanted to spread their religion, and for that purpose they undertook these campaigns. And there are other theories also, but I think that all dynamic worldviews, whether it's a modern worldview or ancient worldview, ancient times, modern times, are by nature, by definition, expansive. American culture in modern times, a great Persian Empire, Roman Empire in ancient times, they tend to spread, and if the opportunities for that growth occur, they take advantage of those. There are, of course, many proximate causes for these wars, but we can talk about them at a later time, or we can read about them in history. Basically, it's this dynamism that wants expression and manifestation. It's true, though, that Muslims had a sense of mission, and they had a strong will after entering the fold of Islam. They became a unified nation, and their morale was very high, especially when they took on the Roman and Persian empires. I think it's also the case that the Persians and the Romans were not indifferent to the developments that were taking place in the Arabian Peninsula. And they could not, being the superpowers of the day. Just imagine if Russia and America, I suppose, are today's superpowers, and a new center of power is coming into existence and developing and growing. These superpowers will regard that new center of power with concern and consternation. And there were certain Arab tribes that served as satellites or vassal tribes between the Arabian Peninsula and the Romans, and the Peninsula and the Persians. And with the rise of Islam, those tribes gravitated toward Islam. And so the buffer between the Romans and the Arabs and the Persians and the Arabs diminished, shrank, and finally disappeared. And those Roman and Persian empires then undertook small expeditions, probing expeditions against the Arabian Peninsula, and the Arabs or Arab Muslims or Muslim Arabs did the same. In this way, skirmishes between these powers started, which eventually took the form of large-scale wars, and these wars resulted in a Muslim victory over both the Romans or Byzantines and the Persians or Sasanians. The Byzantines being Christians, and the Sasanians or Iranians being Zoroastrians.